Paisley Peterson. I go to Grattan Elementary School and I'm in 3rd grade. Amanda's dream. One day I was outside in the backyard and a tiny praying mantis crawled on my arm. I jumped and screamed and shouted, "Get off me!" Once I realized what it was, I zoomed in for a closer look. I was amazed that this strange green creature could look so cool looking. As I looked at its triangular-shaped head and its big googly eyes, I began to wonder what it would be like if I were a praying mantis. Maybe I could do a STEM project for science class and build an invention that could turn me into a cool praying mantis. Amanda, time for dinner, Mom called. As I ate my dinner, all I could think about was my tiny praying mantis buddy. Mom, do you know anything about praying mantis? I asked. Mom smiled at her acquisitive daughter and replied, "Well, I know that praying mantises are beneficial insects. That means they are helpful because they eat harmful garden pests like aphids, crickets, and mosquitoes, and they don't harm plants. They use camouflage as a protection. I've seen one that looks like the stem of a plant." Whoa, if I find one, can I keep it as a pet? I asked. As Mom tucked me into bed, she smiled and whispered, "Good night, we'll talk about it tomorrow." I quickly fell asleep and started to feel odd. I looked at my hands and I realized that I wasn't myself. I was a praying mantis. To be more specific, I was a California praying mantis, also known as a Stagnomantis californica. My arms were my front legs and I had sharp spines on them. I also had 4 other legs. My hands were like little scissor claws, and I also had those big googly eyes. Suddenly, I turned my head to 180 degrees and saw an aphid about 60 feet away. I couldn't resist the urge to the back of its neck. The aphid was paralyzed and ready to eat. Yum, that was a delicious treat. Then a frog jumped out behind a rock in the garden. It jumped at me, and then jumped at me again. Instinct told me that Mr. Frog wanted to eat me as a snack. I flew. Wait, I can fly? I was so amazed by flying, I forgot to look where I was going. And I landed in a puddle. My wings were pretty wet. I quickly fluttered them to dry off. Oh look, a moth! I was hungry again and was determined to get that moth. Success. I stopped to rest and looked around and fluttered my wings again. I was finally able to fly away. The sound of my alarm clock ringing startled me. Slowly, I opened my eyes and looked at my hands, and I had 10 fingers. I sat up in my bed and heard my mom calling me for breakfast. I ran down to the kitchen to tell my mom about my crazy dream. "Mom, I had this amazing dream. I dreamed that I was a praying mantis," I blurted out as she sat at the kitchen table. "Really? What was your favorite part about being a praying mantis?" I asked. Mom asked, smiling. "Well, I think it would be that I had 6 legs and my front had sharp spines on them, and I used to hold and catch my prey. I even thought an aphid was a yummy treat," I said. "What was the scariest thing that happened in your dream?" asked Mom. "For sure when the frog jumped at me. I just knew that frog wanted to eat me as a snack," I replied. I ran down to my room to get ready for school. I looked out my window and saw my praying mantis friend sitting with its legs upright, looking like it was praying. I bent down to put my face as close to the window as I could to get a good look. The praying mantis seemed like it was smiling at me. "Now I understand what it is to be like you," I whispered to my friend. "Now when I see you in the garden, I know that you're a real garden helper." The praying mantis flew off. I watched it fly away and waved and said, "I hope I see you again someday."
They were really excited. Actually, Paisley read her story again last week. She came into practice, and it was cute because she was leaving to go read it to another class. And after she walked out, I watched 3 or 4 of the kids, and they just looked at me and said, "Miss Emerald, that was really good."
At first, I didn't really know what beneficial means, so she added what it was, and I found out that these creatures are helping our community with farmers helping our crops.
In the years past, it's been a way for me to start my year with a topic that the kids can delve into and learn about, maybe get out to the garden, take a field trip, maybe do a little cooking, whatever it takes on different topics. And so it's kind of a fun, hands-on way to experience agriculture.
I was impressed with myself because I won regionals and I was feeling so great, but when I found out I was in state, I was so excited and really impressed with myself.